I had to keep an eye on an individual player, it's actually not a duelist. It's going to be Tem, or Met, as apparently they're named in this game, on the Sova. Tem has been, I think, one of the more impressive players in this kind of, again, Tier 2/Tier 3 level of Valorant for a while now, and I think Sova is just such a perfect role for him.
One over the other on this round, but it looks like a very aggressive push.
Good
Comfortable
start.
even from Brimstone with those frenzies in hand, already getting themselves 2 kills on the board as they make their way onto B side through Market.
Yeah, but Reality has to make sure to check
That's
this
even
corner. Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
Met will get that kill, but I don't know, favors, and it's a quick round going to the side of Brimstone. They'll take this first.
Wow. Okay, well, in that case, it's just, you got to make sure to check your corners. In some cases, it actually led to the death of Reality. Really smart play. I mean, Brimstone simply just sending it up through mid. What really in particular stood out in that round is the fact that Gucci was basically playing a minigame the whole time, held down flank really well, provided some decent smokes, and I think we even saw a gravity well toss in the mix somewhere. Couldn't quite find out where, but I mean, that's the power of Astra, and to see it come out in the first round just like that is big.
Oh, absolutely. We do have the hero rifle on hand on the side of Brimstone. The rest of the team sporting that Spectre. It's going to be a bit of a player. And again, I feel like that's their comfort level on this map, knowing that they can have a big rifle on hand and feel like that they can win this. That's pretty crazy.
One thing to note real quick is that Turret just made contact with a player over towards B main. Backed up immediately behind it, but they're going to be looking to try to get this control again. Tem holding the corner. Will have a judge in the first kill in favor, but I think this is just kind of a two-and-done position, excuse me. Really, it's a good state of affairs for Brimstone Gaming, all things considered, the fact that they're able to get 2 in response, but that's the power of a contact play, Nikki.
Oh, for sure, but it looks like Brimstone, they'll make their way onto the B side. They're going to get that spike down, and it is down to 1 on the side of Polpette. Reality with the shorty. Already position given away by that alarm bot. Has to be frustrating here. Has that SMG in hand, though. Hoping to get a kill, but they're just going to delay this.
Any amount of damage that they can get done at this point is, going to be relatively vital. Makes it so you're not really able to bonus, and you're going to have to force up entirely. I don't know. It's not an unexpected result, the amount of kills that we've seen in this round here. I think Tem, in a perfect world, I would have liked to see another player over towards B main there to crossfire with him, but I think he held down admirably with only a turret as his friend. So very clean second round from Brimstone Gaming, all things considered. They took care of that player, that problem player with the judge, and now we're going to be able to at least try to keep this somewhat as a bonus. But important to keep in mind, though, Nikki, is it's not really much of a bonus whatsoever.
No, it definitely is not. But they will take that round. It looks like they just passed the hero rifle along, switching hands a little bit as Dynamic going to sport that sheriff. Understandably so, like you said, it is the bonus here. They're going to switch things up. It looks like A is the play. Dynamic pushing through with that alarm, or with his boom bot. Dodges the gravity well, but rest of his team pushing over on the other side. They're already trying to make it through, but Met with that judge gets traded out. It's still a 4v4 as they try to push through onto site. To get that spike down, and it's Polpette on deck now for this retake.
This is kind of a weird push from Brimstone Gaming. We'll touch on it in a little bit, because the thing is, it's still kind of going on. Dynamic over towards Cat, as though the spike has gone down. The round is still going here, Nikki.
It is! Strafe will find a kill. There, it's still very doable, but that spike is taking it away, and the pressure is on for Polpette to make something happen here. Instinct finds the head of Dynamic, has to push through with that flash, gets taken down, and it's all up to Gooch right now. Will fall eventually, and it's 3-0 for the side of Brimstone.
Massive round for Brimstone to pick up. Thing is, I honestly wasn't too massive on how that round started. Over towards A main, before we even saw any kills, the ultimate orb, was given over to the Killjoy of Strafe. And why that's a little bit concerning to me is that Chaotic used his drone to clear out close A main, and then he conceded the orb, but if he were to get Hunter's Fury up and then use that drone to try to scout out a player towards A, that could have been a potential 4v5, you know, had he aimed his ult correctly. But it really kind of goes to show that they're prioritizing that KJ ult more than anything, and it's going to be a big factor, I think, come next gun round. But for now, they should be able to farm these pistols here. Only potential problem we see popping up is that the fact Polpette di carne. We have currently 3 players over towards B.
Oh, that has to feel a little bit rough here. Reality forced to dash back, hiding behind that safety of that generator. Rest of his team holding ground onto B, but that spike, I think they kind of got a good read on that. They're gonna rotate it out, push their way onto B, but there's no rotations on the side of Polpette here, so they're...
Push B main.
Oh, they are. They're gonna get that pick. Strafe, though, not able to connect. Does a little bit of chip damage as they're forced to fall back.
This is a big kill to chase, though. They need to find at least something here. Strafe does indeed get it together. And that's going to actually begin their push in here, Nikki.
It is. They're still having to deal with a bit of that Killjoy utility, but Welshi hoping to find one, not able to connect. Rest of Brimstone already on site, just infesting everything here. They want to get that spike down, but look at the kills falling on the side of Polpette here. Reality picks himself up a rifle. It's a 1v2, very doable as that spike just barely goes down. He just needs to find these heads. Will try to swing, not enough. Dynamic closes it out. 4-0 now for Brimstone. Oh, this is a bleeding.
Certainly a little bit scarier of a round than you would have imagined, though. I mean, up against pistols, the fact that you lose 3 guns maybe is a slight cause for concern, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's that big number at top that really, really matters the most here. Brimstone Gaming, with their, their ultimate economy just fully... It's fully equipped for success here. Really, they could just do any combination of ults and find themselves in success. I think it's also equally important to mention that Polpette di carne, they are also just a point away from getting all of their ultimates online as well. A little bit of a tech pause, it seems we have, and you know, whether it's technical or tactical, I think it's pretty valid either way, because Polpette di carne, this certainly isn't the sort of way they're looking for this one to start, despite it being the map pick of Brimstone.
Absolutely, and we see the Odin come out, that god machine gun.
Oh, looks like we're back.
Yeah, oh yeah, loading into the game, yeah, but that Odin comes out. Will that help swing this momentum over? They need to deal with Brimstone just kind of rocking things out. 5 ultimates on their side as well, but dynamic, those pain shells being pushed through. They're kind of on a delay here as they try to push their way onto A site, but that run it back, forced to fall as T-Dog gets the head of Instinct. That suddenly Polpette, they have to play at a disadvantage already with still a lot of time in play for Brimstone to make their way onto a site.
Yeah, it's a pretty massive kill to find. No run it back available for the other side. And taking a gander at the radar, honestly, Polpette, I'm really surprised to see that they weren't even trying to fight for an ultimate orb in the first place. I think that could have certainly helped their chances. At least fighting for something like that.
Oh,
who knows if Brimstone would have given it up.
Yeah, these are some fake out ultimates on the side of B. You see Cosmic Divide and the Lockdown being played here, but A site is the play for Brimstone as that spike goes down opposite side of the map, forcing Polpette on the rotation. They're just getting picked off. Yeah.
It feels like this just kind of has to be a save as well. You said the Odin was brought out into play, found absolutely nothing, just simply because he was, you know, entirely avoided for basically the full duration of this round. He will find a kill on his way out. I still think saving is probably going to be their best bet at this point.
Yeah, there's... They agree with you. They're gonna fall back, but Strafe finds him on the back. Tem to fall. That's an Odin lost. Oh,
I don't think it's gonna be picked up though, right? I don't know. I don't see any particular reason to be all too concerned about losing the Odin in particular, but that only gun on Welshie's, well, again, the only gun they're going to have for this round as well. And yeah, it's a bit of a dry state of affairs right now, isn't it? Polpette di carne have yet to show up at all in the game, and really I feel like Brimstone Gaming haven't had to necessarily do anything too crazy. It has been pretty standard defaults, and Polpette di carne, I don't know. I want to see them fight for space a little bit more aggressively. What's going on over towards A main, I think, is probably the right idea. Knives popped, Bladestorm, excuse me, plus an aggro dart. A main control is starting to be found.
Yeah, Tem tries to see if he can tag anybody with that Hunter's Fury. Reality 2 full. Wow. Dynamic finds himself too. And
big kills.
Again, it's Polpette, they are already looking really frazzled here, down to 3, with nothing but the Cosmic Divide to play with right now to try and maybe delay a push onto site. Like, there's something needs to change, and I'm not exactly sure what they need to adjust here. They've pretty much like abandoned B other than the Killjoy here, and this is where Brimstone are going to make their move.
Yeah, this util setup and this hold, I think, has a bigger consequence, will have to be massive. It's basically an impossible task that's on their hands. They're looking to go for it, Nikki. Welshie playing off a contact of those turrets will pop out those swarms. That will allow his right side to be clear, but the left side is a big worry. Dynamic on 3 kills already this round has been just a menace against Polpette. And when it's 10 versus the world, I think the world is just going to crush him.
He's going to try, though. He's going to try and battle it out. Not going to happen. It is 6-0. And
Strafe is going to die. That's wild.
Oh.
Strafe is the undying. I mean, really, I think Polpette, they had a good start there. Despite them being on a pretty crappy buy, they used a Bladestorm and then tried to force a main control. Really well played by Dynamic, holding the ground well. I wasn't quite sure where he was located. I think he was kind of at the corner of A main, but was able to really neutralize Reality before he was even vaguely a threat. Smart default play like that is what has been the success, bread and butter of Brimstone so far, and as long as they keep it up, Polpette di carne don't seem to have any answers.
Oh, they even read Reality sitting there. That's a spam. But Instinct will find himself a trade. Chaotix using that Hunter's Fury, trying to clear out the rest of market. But not really able to find anybody here.
Close market.
Oh, that's an Odin spray to the face. Tem. He's going to get killed from the backside, though. Strafe forced to use that utility, delaying any push from Gucci as they lock him out and they lay claim onto B side. That spike is going to go down.
This wall here is going to be pretty big. I'm wondering if they do it to clear back sight. Definitely keep an eye on Gucci to see where that one goes through. They need to use a Cosmic Divide. Every round at this point matters. Low HP for Gucci as well, so he's not going to be too big of a factor when it feels like to the actual gunfights. That's going to be Instinct that you're looking at most notably. But where's that Cosmic Divide? There it is. It looks like it's finally being set out. And it is indeed going to go towards the back of site here. That's going to allow them to, again, lay claim over to the site. But they need to keep an eye on T-Dog. He's still sitting in B main, and he's going to find 2. It's down into 1v1. And Polpette di carne, they know that this last player has been a menace. And they're going to continue being a menace. 3 kills for T-Dog in a 1v2 to cap things off. 7 rounds still for Brimstone Gaming. And Nikki, they really do seem impossible to deal with.
They do, and you know, they had, like you said, a really good Cosmic Divide position, but they felt that pressure. That spike taking away, they knew they needed to push, but T-Dog just had the best position for that post plan to counter them from behind as they push their way through. Oh, that has to be frustrating.
Look what it means now, Nikki. That round, I mean, surely it wouldn't have made their eco good, but would have made it a lot more passable than what we have right now. Spectres, Sheriffs, all the crappy buys, and only a 1-for-1 to show for it.
Showstopper, not even getting that kill, will fall mid-air. Still a 3v3 row for the team. Brimstone, they're going to reset a bit here. Take that spike all the way to the other side, or maybe even around mid. But they are not going through A main.
Yeah, gamble towards A. Drone going out through mid as well, just spotting for information. Doesn't spot, well, again, much of anything here. Bit of a gamble. Once again being made here, and I'm wondering, did that drone hear something? Because the rotate is through from Polpette di carne.
Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a delay for Astra, though. Oh, look at where Tem is already with that judge. Finds himself one with that jump.
I like this.
Still being pulled by that well. But they are not making their way onto site. Gets himself one more, and Chaotic down to him. And the spike with no HP. Reality finishes him off. Point on the board finally for Polpette di carne.
7-1 makes you wish Upmind was here casting it. That way he could maul it again. About the 7-1 scoreline that he always seems to be a part of. Brimstone Gaming finally go down, and weirdly enough, Nikki, it is to the eco. It is to a pretty crappy force buy that Polpette really need to force together. In that case, I think it was a really smart read on the situation, and Tem, I think his impact was undeniable there. You saw it in the kill feed, but being able to find 2 from his really precarious situation is massive. And that's one of the advantages that the judge brings to you, right? You are really, really scary in those close quarters combat, but they couldn't path around him. They couldn't go around steps or something, just simply because they didn't have the space. It's a painful way for them to find their first round, but Polpette di carne, they need to keep up, you know, up the ante, and maybe they can go ahead and continue the 7-5 being the best they can somehow scrounge.
Yeah, Dynamic already presence in A here as it forces the rest of Polpette to fall back a bit. That's a run it back being used. Astra Gravity Well has to use that, but they are still wanting them. The A is already compromised. It's infected with the players of Brimstone. They're gonna get their way through, get that spike down, but Hunter's Fury on the hunt, hoping to find somebody, but it's Strafe on the backside, takes out Reality. They're not able to do anything. That spike now taking away. Oh, that is 2 big ultimates being expended right now as they try to take their way through, but Strafe will fall. Welshi and Gucci, they'll find themselves each other a kill, reach with the double before finally being removed. Instinct locks it in. Welshi gets detained, doesn't matter. Instinct will get that defused, get that much needed round for Polpette. They are still alive in this game.
That was unreal by Polpette di carne. The lockdown was seriously brutal on them, but they were forcing fights over towards Cat. As soon as they went through the suck, it found the KJ who set down the lockdown, but not the actual ultimate itself. Reach was playing in the close right corner of Catwalk, and unfortunately, both of his teammates went down before he was able to find the trades. I think he was flashed or something, but, you know, let's just kind of look at it this way. If Reach finds one more there, the last person is probably detained or not able to fight Bomb, and that round swings the other way entirely. Sometimes it's just crazy gunfights like that, but great util usage from Polpette di carne. That flash was huge, and it gets him a second round.
Absolutely huge. We see Operator on hand now on the side of Polpette, but
kill.
Dynamic, huge opening kill here. I mean, they've made their presence known at A. They'll take that orb, but is this where they want to commit? That spike at short, they can take it either way, but no, with that flash, Reach pushes through, being delayed by that gravity well. It doesn't matter.
Mid.
Opposite side, Chaotic. Oh, shoulder peek. Strafe will win that duel at that spike going down, but hey, Tem gets that kill, delays it down, doesn't matter. Brimstone locks it in. They'll take this round.
That is wild. Brimstone Gaming just feels so on top. Sure, again, you can kind of bring it down to maybe a couple of duels that they won there. Dynamic certainly was on point, but they have seriously done a wonderful job at being able to exploit every single aspect of the map that has been at least somewhat problematic for Carne. You know, again, looking at that, it was A main that Dynamic was just able to walk up, and behind that drone that came up from Chaotic, found a free frag over towards Catwalk of someone trying to desperately back away, and Utility is just going to be completely offline after the fact, obviously. Look at this, though. Polpette di carne are responding by sending 3 players towards A main to fight for it.
Yeah, I mean, that is an Instinct Punish. Dynamic
unreal.
is just on fire today. Finds himself a double, make that a triple kill. Polpette down to 1.
Dynamic is just the best player at the server right now. Nothing more to say. When it's a 1v3 practically like that. Sure, you have the util behind that is, kind of blowing up the rear, so to speak. It's just unreal that Dynamic is able to find 3 in a situation where, at best, it should be a one and done, because that was a trade position.
Yep, he wants 4, but not going to get it. Tem will finally shut him down. Has to deal with all of this utility. He's looking for more, gets himself a triple. Oh, he's down to 20 HP in a dream, but
he has the ult, though.
that is a Hunter's Fury he's gonna have to battle here.
Respect, but I just don't really think this is possible. Jonas has been given away shock darts, and then the kill. Really admirable attempt from Tem, though. I mean, you have to at least give him that, Nikki.
Oh, I'm giving it, like... He heard you say that Dynamic is the best player in the server right now, and he's like, let me try and swing you a little bit. And make you question that statement.
I'm questioning it, but until somehow a player can get 3 entries when there's a crossfire in play towards A main, it's just, I'm not sure if anyone can change that argument, despite him being equally as much of a top fragger as anybody else in the server. It's just wild the impact that Dynamic has had in some of these rounds, Nikki. It's undeniable.
Oh, absolutely.
Push me main.
That is the showstopper with a double sat. Not even a double satchel.
It's a single satchel.
Does not find anybody. I thought she's gonna want to fly through even a little bit more. Doesn't matter. Run it back. Used as well. But that spike going down again. They really love that default plant spot by the generator. They have to move themselves back because Hunter's Fury says, do not plant there.
I kind of like this plant, though. Having the entire site to yourself, sure, you can't really contest it from hell, but that doesn't seem to be a location that they're even mildly worried about. T-Dog, he's holding the corner, overwhelmed by 3. Cosmic Divide is massive, and now having that player hell would have been certainly incredibly helpful. The retake is through. Brimstone already, Polpette di carne already on the spike, but they're being contested hard. It's 10 versus 2, and Nikki, it doesn't seem possible.
No, it doesn't. That's a swing not going to happen. Strafe wins it out. Those are huge ultimates at the half here. Oh, it's gonna be a bit rough. You're coming into the half on the attacker side. 10 below is what you're gonna have to try and battle through. What can they do to change this and swing that momentum with this reset, so to speak? Now that, they're on the attacker side.
I certainly don't think it's impossible. I think the big thing for them is going to be trying to, again, focus on their individual map control. Tem, I think his recon could be really, really massive for them here. And in particular, my eyes are all on Reality to see how he plays around the utility. I want to see them fight for orbs every single round, things like that, because those are going to be major factors if a comeback is going to be a reality. No pun intended on this first map. But otherwise, Brimstone, I mean, this seems like a very confident choice for them. It hasn't even been particularly, amazing strategies that we've seen. It's just really solid fundamentals of the map.
Yeah, all those footsteps used. T-Dog tries to play aggressive. Doesn't pan out, though. Polpette di carne. Massive. 3 kills already on the board for them here. They really need this round. They want to get this pistol. They want to get that spike down, and they will.
That was beautiful from Polpette di carne. And already they're just kind of showing up with some of the big things that I said that was going to be necessary for a potential comeback here, Nikki, keep an eye just how many times they were preparing for a push through smoke, something like that from Brimstone Gaming. They caught at least 2 players, and I think maybe a third that happened at the same time as another. They were so well aware of the fact that Brimstone Gaming were going to try to get those evener frags, and the fact that they didn't at all, I mean, that really speaks true to the sentiment that Polpette di carne, maybe this is just a side that they favor a little bit more. It's a great start for them, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. They need to find this second and very much the third if they want to keep this going.
Absolutely. That is the sound of the Ares drumming away in the hands of Tem. It is absolute ASMR. Dynamic with that shorty. Forces instinct to fall back.
This is good. Look at this fight. It's so big. They have the entirety of A main now.
They really do, and they're just gonna camp each other in the corner. Who's brave enough to peek first? whose peeker's advantage is going to win out?
I found the answer.
Wow.
It's dynamic.
Absolutely.
Pretty big kill to find.
Yeah, that is not looking very promising with, you know, Polpette. They're down to 1 to the 5 of Brimstone, and they haven't even found a site yet. Under a minute left in play. They want to get that spike down.
Still, though, keep in mind that Brimstone are working with a pretty awful buy. Spam is going to certainly be a big win condition here for Polpette di carne. Through the smokes, through the nebulas, players are trying to find frags. And thing is, Polpette di carne are just doing it a little bit better. 2 from Welshi, 1 from Gucci.
Yeah.
And it all falls to pieces. Honestly, solid attempt though from Brimstone Gaming. 3 guns in a round that overall shouldn't have not been yours in the first place. I think is admirable. Especially that one towards A main with the shorty. I think that's pretty huge, Nikki.
That's very huge. And I mean, like, just look at the economy and the buys coming into this round. It's very frazzled. Not just a bit. It's like very frazzled. We're just seeing.
Yeah, it's not a bonus at all, isn't it?
It is not. That's a bit of a force on a couple of the your members. A sheriff on hand. Like, it's a very crucial round. So yeah. What are we doing? Oh. Brimstone, they'll play a bit of aggressive here. Instinct has learned, will get that sheriff kill and pick himself up a dono rifle. And T-Dog has to try and delay here, but gets shut down by that door. Rest of Brimstone making their way over right now as that spike taken away. It's on deck for them to try and get things. Oh, Reach will even find a kill with his molly.
Wow. Nasty smoke combo, I suppose, did the trick there. Brimstone Gaming, considering they fully invested into this round, I think they're on the verge of saving if they don't get a kill within the next 5 seconds or so.
Yeah.
I think actually now is probably about the time.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh, never mind. Still though,
there
I mean, time's ticking. I'm not 100% sure about this one. That Molotov hits, reality goes down. Brimstone are still trying their hardest to make this one happen here. They're not clearing every single problem area, but that's it. That's a round done. Welshi has done his part. And Brimstone Gaming, despite finding every single kill that they needed to, are not able to piece it together at the end. And in fact, everyone goes down to the spike at the end of the day as well. Pretty big round, I have to say, for the side of Polpette di carne to find.
Very expensive round, I would say, even, but...
yeah, for a bonus.
For a bonus. Yeah, this forces Brimstone Gaming on a hard save. We're seeing nothing but pistols on hand. Polpette di carne, they're going to be sporting that SMG on Welshi, but that's okay. I love that Spectre. Rest of his team gonna have those rifles. They do have ultimates in hand, so it's gonna be a big play here.
Spectre's a pretty nuts weapon, and they're up against pretty inferior artillery. I don't see too big of an issue with it. Run it back, used immediately. Helps them get the opener.
Oh, chaotic!
They're trying to be equally as much of a menace.
Absolutely. It's been trades, but Polpette is so far winning all of these gunfights as they get that spike down, and T-Dog, sheriff on hand, tries to find the head, will find Tem. Too easy, he says.
Both coming from B main, though. Brimstone Gaming, it's very kind of one-track minded retake. They have a pretty decent gun to work with. T-Dog can't even afford to reload. Okay, now he can.
No, he's got it, but like this is Polpette di carne sitting in the death pits that is on B side. Gucci will find one. Dynamic trades that out. 2v1 still though, as that spike ticking eventually. Instinct with that jumping classic to the face. 6-10, closing this gap for Polpette.
Polpette di carne looking pretty confident on their attacking side now. I'm surprised that we haven't seen as much of an early skirmish for those ultimate orbs. Too much in this game whatsoever, but I think now is certainly going to be an important time again. It's always something that you have to keep your eye on, especially in rounds like this, because 4 out of the 5 ultimates only require 1 point to actually reach their final mark here from Brimstone Gaming. I think it's going to be very much in their best interest to try to at least do something to contest.
Yeah, but like as you said though, like no contesting of that orb over on A main just yet. You just have that eyes over there, but they're gonna play passive. And I think Brimstone, they are very respectful of what's been happening so far. Not playing aggressive, but dynamic. Just stuck their instinct, punishing that pizza player.
Great Yuto combo.
Absolutely. They want to play a market. Reality dashes his way through with the flash. They're not going to find anybody, and that is the lockdown in play on the side of Polpette as they want to make their way through. Reach finds that head. They're going to push through, try and take it down, but gets punished from the backside because Reality already there in play. Chaotic, sitting on the back of Boathouse with that Ares. Oh no, sorry, the Odin will fall, and Polpette di carne, they're looking very good on this.
Yeah, looking oh so confident. Brimstone Gaming, or rather, just Strafe, going to be saving this gun for the next round. 7-10. Indeed, the scoreline is closing up, and some of the issues that I think plague Polpette di carne are equally as much of an issue for Brimstone Gaming as well. It's kind of a school of thought whether you want to try to what kind of pacing you're trying to play in your defensive end, but I really still think that Brimstone Gaming would be so more confident, so much more confident rather, if they just tried a couple of the setups that Polpette di carne did on their defensive end, whether it's sending 3 players through B main or A main, something like that. I don't know. It just seems like it'd be a great estimate. Ooh. A gamble for them to make. They don't get to save that gun. That's actually really big, though.
Yeah.
Huge.
That was a hunted Killjoy, and she was found. And look, Brimstone.
Gone a long way.
It really would have. Brimstone, their economy is very damaged. They're sitting with nothing but sheriffs on hand. The momentum that we saw them have on the attacker side now being mirrored by Polpette di carne.
And I have this full mid push. I like it. Brimstone Gaming contacting up. They're not actually trying to make any noise if they can still possibly help it. Well, she's just about to be jump scared here, and yeah, that turret does some pretty big damage to the info, I suppose you can say. Full set today.
This map movement, though, from the teams, I mean, that alarm bot's gonna give them away. They can't. They're gonna have to deal with that. While she's doing a good job holding that flank, that's a ping coming out knowing that they are there. I don't think they realize all 5 though, but it's a bloodbath here. Shooting gallery on the back. It's down to Reach, sitting in this corner with an SMG on hand. They're gonna try and find him.
Surely they don't expect this. This is like a one and done. No. Oh, yep. They lack the
trigger discipline. Oh, wow. So close, but no cigar. That's...
It's a gun. I mean, a point closer to your ultimate, I guess. Instinct are at the halfway mark, but I don't know. It's not too much to write home about, I suppose you can say. Brimstone Gaming, all the ultimates in play as long as we're going to be keeping a check on that. But honestly, I really admire the push that they went for there. I thought it was a great move to full send it to full contact play through mid there. Sure, there was a player who kind of spoiled the fun when there was a turret set up over towards top mid, but try something similar. I really think it's just going to be in their best interest.
Absolutely. And if we're looking at this, if this is a deja vu of the other half, this is the round for Brimstone, right? This is where they can slow that moment. They have 5 ultimates in play. They should be able to delay whatever attempt of an entry that Polpette di carne wants to play here, but it just comes down to that execution.
This is a really difficult position to play in towards tree. Nice combo with the nano and the gravity well. That nebula could very much be a problem. Thing is, they actually, I believe, retrieve the nebula as well. And look how that's causing rotations go into a bit of a panic over towards B. The fact that they're being drawn away and there's no noise over towards A really makes them think that this is probably going to be B execute. Brimstone Gaming, very preemptive rotates, aren't finding anything.
Yeah, they're just stuck in the borders, 40 seconds on the clock. They are going to be pressured to make a play here right now, but is Reach finds that opening kill onto Instinct, caught with his flash out. The rest of the team of Polpette already trying to pushing their way through. but being delayed here. Reach finds himself another. Reality will get a trade, but Polpette di carne, they're down to 2. Again, this is like deja vu from the first half here. Reality, Bladestorm on hand, will double jump, find that kill, looking for more, not gonna connect.
This is huge.
Standing.
Oh,
1v2, very winnable 1v2 from Gucci. Nikki,
absolutely.
win condition at this point is going to be, well, his stars, but he doesn't have any.
No, he does not. Swings dynamic will find that kill. Brimstone gets that defuse. It is literally a mirror of the first half so far. So if Brimstone wins this, they literally are copying each other's playbook here.
It's wild to watch, but hey, they eventually get it together. That's what matters most. Props to Brimstone Gaming in that one. I was a little bit concerned about what seemed like preemptive rotates over towards B, but I guess it's not preemptive at all if it's not a fake, right? They saw that star get dismissed, taken away from Catwalk. Yeah, they were able to actually, you know, make that gamble worth it.
Yeah.
Only 2 ultimates expended as well. This has been a great round for Brimstone to win. Polpette, their response here? Well, they're fighting for A main control. Look how Brimstone are actually going to be dealing with this. As a wall goes through, again, they're going to be bringing in rotates, but I think they fully wait out this wall before they commit to anything. And that's because they have the lockdown.
I really like that wall from Polpette, really forcing Brimstone to either play aggressive and they become like fodder pick-ins probably, knowing that there's only so much like entry that you can do here. Wall will eventually go down. Spike is up. It's taking away, and yeah, that is a Sova ult as well. Both sides have it in play. That is a lockdown now being used, trying to see if they can push the rest of Polpette di carne out. That is Tem on the Hunter's Fury, hoping to tag some bodies, but not really able to find anybody here. Polpette down to 2. Astral Wall on the side of a Brimstone now in play as well, but T-Dog will fall.
This is winnable.
Very
winnable.
got a
nano onto the bomb.
Ooh, got the triple as well, but that's already at the half, and she will push. They will fall. Well, he does not find it. That is now match point for the side of Brimstone.
Match point.
Beautiful again by Brimstone. They are just seriously getting their bang for their buck out of every single ultimate that they have used thus far. Strafe. The lockdown there, right, because Tem has the Hunter's Fury, it's just kind of like a natural counterplay, right? You see it go down, you use Hunter's Fury to bring it, you know, to bring it to its logical conclusion, basically. But from there, they also had the Cosmic Divide that really helped them gain a lot of space, knowing full well that the Sova had to be pushed into a lot more of a passive position. He was going to be affected by the wall. It was a great combo of ults, and it just kind of goes to show how the util game has been really, really strong from Brimstone thus far. They've gotten themselves onto 12, Nikki, and I'll let them go up 1-0 in the series, but Icebox, I think, is where all of our concerns end. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Absolutely, because Polpette di carne, they are going to fight for this round. They want to take it to overtime. That's run it back, used and expended. Not really able to find anybody, but it's chaotic. Double kill with the Hunter's Fury. Just has them on red. Polpette di carne down to 3. Make that, make that 2 right now as the rest of Brimstone pushing their way through. Oh,
Flashes are going to be big.
Last player standing.
yeah, T-Dog will find one. Chaotic closes it out. That's a triple kill for him. They'll get that defuse, and that is a Brimstone taking this map.